Alright, you guys, I've been creating content on this YouTube channel for just about a year now. It'll be a year April 20th. And since I've joined YouTube, the #1 burning question I get asked is how I get my content to look the way that it does. I'm so flattered. It definitely makes me realize that I'm very passionate about the whole tech side to things and all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. So I'm very happy to share it with you all. Quick shout out to Serai or Karen Serai on Instagram. She inspired this video today. She posted last week a video where she cleaned and organized her YouTube studio, then did an overview of her setup and how she kind of creates things. So I thought it was a really great idea. I really need to clean and organize my YouTube studio. Everything is functional, don't get me wrong. It's just been a while since I've actually got to go through my drawers, go through all my makeup, all my looks, purge a few things, clean and organize, get really everything dialed right in. I haven't had the opportunity to do since moving in this new house. So I want to seize the day today. So that being said, everything that you see in this room today definitely was not accumulated overnight. It definitely took me a lot of hard work and time to get this to look how it looks, get all the equipment that I wanted. So don't think it happens overnight. You can definitely start off with a couple soft boxes, a camera, some editing software, and you are set. I just want to share with you guys my journey and how I kind of started and got to this point. So if you would like to see my YouTube setup and how I do things, of course, please keep on watching. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is David, and without further ado, this is my YouTube studio tour. All right, when you walk into my studio, this is what you will see. Towards the very back is where I film Planet Malibu. That's where I have all of my main lighting and my sound set up. On that wall there, I have some sparkly backdrops, which I really don't use too often, but when I do film with somebody else, it's really convenient because I can stretch them out really wide, have a lot more space to use a different lens. Here I have some nice paper backdrops on a 3-tier roll. Basically, I have the sky blue, storm gray, and paper white. I just think they're really nice neutral colors to film on. Let's show you all my very nasty, dirty glam station. I am a pig from hell, but we need to organize this today. I have to get this done. I have to purge a whole bunch of makeup. Some stuff might be expired, some stuff just might need to get rid of. My mom's coming in a couple weeks. I told her I would have some stuff to give to her, so I'm gonna make a little pile for her. I'm gonna make a little pile to donate. I'm gonna make a little pile to just throw out because some stuff is probably expired. I've had it for years. It needs to be done. So without further ado, let's start on this glam station. So when we first moved into this house, the people asked if we wanted to keep this desk. It was here when we moved in. I said yes. I thought it was a great desk. I could either sew or I could make a glam station out of it. As you can see, I've made a pretty good glam station out of her. I have here 2 big drawers full of makeup that I have to go through. It is so much crap. It just needs to be purged and all the stuff that I don't wear needs to be gone. I don't film here. This is just where I do my makeup. As you can see, this is one of the very first soft boxes I ever bought. I use it just for doing my makeup now. So this was one of the least expensive alternatives to buying lighting, and what I did is I just got these 2 LED studio bulbs and put them on the inside, and that keeps it very bright. And this diffuses everything, of course, to make you look nice and soft and blend it out and blah, blah, blah. I now have big LED panels that don't get quite as hot, that don't overheat and shut down when they get hot. So that is really convenient and nice when you're filming for a long time. I know that for me, when I'm filming, sometimes it can just take forever for me to be able to just say something how I want to say it. So having lights that die all the time or soft boxes just was, you know, it was the first thing that we did, but we evolved and now we have studio lights. So that's where I started off, but now I just use it for my makeup. So when I first started off, I used to have all of my makeup right on this desk. I used to always have all of my looks and everything kind of just in this one area, and it was always just the biggest mess. So that's why I kind of split up my glam station and my film place. I'm going to be using the one just to this wall here above the paper backdrops where I will be filming makeup looks. However, this area is just meant to stay nice and clean like the newsroom that it's supposed to be. So what I'm going to do now is take you guys through me organizing some of my makeup, get that all organized, get everything in here kind of dialed in. Towards the end of the video is where I will go over a full studio tour where I will go over all the equipment that I use, all of the brands and everything. That being said, everything will be linked in the description box down below, so if you are curious, of course, look there. I'm not going to talk about it too much. I just kind of want to name things and then just move on. It does get quite meticulous, so let's just kind of get through it quickly. Let's first start by cleaning my damn makeup station because that is just Alright, before we get started, I will point out that I am using the Canon 80D. I have a little red silicone slipcover over it. I can leave that linked in the description box down below so you guys can find it, but basically I just feel a lot better about owning a $1,500 camera when it has a little bit of a cover on it. I am using the 10 to 18mm lens, which is a really good wide angle lens. Basically, it's going to let in a lot of the background, which is going to be really good for perception. You're going to be able to really put yourself in a time and place with a wide angle lens, whereas something that's a little bit more fixed and a little bit more zoomed in, you're not really going to see a lot of the background. The background's going to be a lot more blurred. Whereas with this, you are seeing basically everything in the shot. Time for the classic snoop through my drawers shot. Here is where I keep lip products, lipsticks, lip pencils. Here I have some prosthetic kind of stuff, like I have some Crozade, I have some latex, some Halloween paint. Here I have my lenses. Shout out to Primal Lenses for sending me all of those free lenses. I love them so much. This drawer here just has some hairspray. This drawer here has some powder. This drawer here is more prosthetic kind of stuff, and sponges and applicators and cotton pads. Oh my god, there's actually the case for my lens filter. Yeah. Down in this drawer we get into some eyeshadow palette. Basically this was all organized at one point in my life, but now it's all just a plethora of makeup and junk. Last drawer on this side is just some more powders and palettes. Top drawer on the left-hand side is all eyeliners, mascaras, liquid eyeliners. Here we have a eyelash station with some more brow pomades and some lash glue, some brow gel. There's just a bunch of crap in there. This drawer was for highlighters, but I can't really keep all of my highlighters in the same place for the life of me. But that's where highlighters were supposed to go. Here is foundation. I have a bunch of that. I really need to go through all of that and make sure I get rid of the stuff that is not good anymore. Here's another drawer that has some damage-free hanging stuff that I use for backdrops and whatnot. I was gonna do a Mean Girls inspired makeup video where I put the D on backwards like Karen did it. I thought that would have been so funny, but I never did it. That was in there. Here is setting sprays, primers, some rubbing alcohol for cleaning my brushes, brown hairspray, some fucking air freshener. I don't know. This really needs to be gone through, obviously. Last drawer is some eyeshadow palettes. Moving on to the actual desk, I just have a mirror, of course, for doing my makeup, some powder, all my palettes. Basically, this just needs to be cleaned so bad. Oh, there's some coffee. I have over in the corner just in some mason jars all of the brushes that I really don't use all the time. I really need to go through a lot of that stuff and get rid of some stuff that I don't use. But that is my glam station, folks. That's where I do my makeup before I film Planet Malibu. Alright, ta motherfucking da. We got her done, guys. So basically we got the two bottom drawers here. This is eyeshadow palettes. This is contour, blush, and bronzer. Here we have some hair products. Here is setting sprays and primers. I have some Q-tips and some sponges and some rubbing alcohol and stuff for cleaning in that drawer. Some more sponges, cleaning stuff, whatever in there. Here we have all of my setting powders, all of my other powders. This is all foundation, highlighter, concealer, lenses, prosthetic stuff, lips, brows, eyelashes. Alright, I want to try and give you guys a little bit more perspective of what's going on. So basically, there is my glam station. Right beside it is where I would film some Instagram videos. And then just over here is Planet Malibu. And then on this wall, of course, the sparkly backdrop. Basically, what I want to do is set up this area so it is like my Instagram go-to place. It should be super easy for me to just sit down, film a video if I need to. So I really need to make this whole space very practical, easy to use. So my idea basically here is to have all of my lighting kind of stay right in the middle of the room here, being able to switch and turn just to whichever backdrop that I would like to use. So basically, of course, I have my paper backdrops here, Planet Malibu here, and then some sparkly stuff here. I really need to make this all very practical, really easy to use. I'm the type of person that would just like to be able to come down here, sit down, get to filming right away, not have to do too much setup. So that's what I'm going to try and do with this room now. Basically, basically I'm going to get rid of all of this junk, clean up this area. All right, I'll quickly go over with you guys what's in my camera bag. Like I said, I did start off with the Canon Rebel. This is the first camera I ever had. It's so tiny compared to a professional body like the 80D that I'm using right now, or a 1D Mark X. It is just a lot smaller and more compact. So the thing with this one is the autofocus is just not as mint as the Canon 80D. It doesn't work as fast. The camera is still a great piece of equipment, but being a beauty vlogger, you definitely want things to come into focus a lot easier. So I upgraded to the Canon 80D about 7 months later after buying this. So now I just use this guy as my B-roll. I have the 55 to 250mm lens on here, and that's really good for getting a super tight B-roll shot. Say if you're doing like an eyeshadow tutorial or something like that and you really want to zoom in on that eye, you can definitely tighten up that shot quite a bit by using the super zoom on this lens. Other than that, I also have a Sigma lens that has a higher aperture. This one is just a 16 to 50, and basically this has a 2.8 aperture, so it just lets in a little bit more light. I use this a lot for my nightclub videography when I was doing that. So first camera I ever had, great camera, still love it, still use it for B-roll. I just like the 80D a lot better. That being said, I will upgrade to a 1D Mark X when I can. Those cameras are just really, really expensive, but then I'll have three, then I'll have two B-roll. Another camera that I really like to have on hand here is the Nikon Coolpix A900. This one is really neat because of course it does have the flip screen that comes right up. We'll turn it on here so you can kind of see what it looks like. Basically, you know, just a really good digital camera. The cool thing about this is that it connects to your phone via Bluetooth, so as soon as you take the picture is uploaded from the camera automatically to your phone, so it's ready for editing, it's ready to just go right from there. You don't have to upload it onto a computer. Email it to yourself, it's good to go right away. Plus this films in 4K, so it's going to give you some really good footage. If you ever get a chance to pick up one of these cameras, try out the video mode and see how good the image stabilization is. It's crazy. It literally just keeps the image so stable, even if you're shaking the camera, so it's really good for vlogging on the go if you want to keep it in your bag. It's good to pull out when you need it in a pinch. It's not the most durable camera, but if you keep it in a good case, you keep the strap on your wrist when you're using it, you should have no problems. Comes with the charger, obviously. That's basically what I keep in my camera bag. I do have a few other lenses that I don't really use on a regular basis, so those I keep in a safe upstairs for safekeeping. Other than that, basically that's all that stays in this camera bag, and that's pretty much what I would use on a regular basis. So that is that. Something I want to point out about my backdrop here, I didn't actually screw it in with screws. I find if I want to move this around, I don't really want holes in the walls. So you can buy these Command brand damage-free hanging strips. Basically what they are, just little strips of Velcro that stick to the wall that hold everything up. Each one of these stickers holds 32 pounds each, so I have 4 of them on each side, basically 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and that is holding this on pretty sturdy. So if I do want to move it anywhere, it's not going to matter. I'm not going to have holes in the wall. I can just move it at my leisure, but it covers up this big hole in the wall, so I'm probably just going to leave it there. As for the actual Planet Malibu area, I'm pretty happy with how everything is set up here. This is going to stay how it is. I'm going to go over my lighting here in a second for you guys, so stay tuned for that. But basically, this will all stay how it is. I'm going to keep my backdrop where it is. These sparkly backdrops will stay hanging on there. I'm going to clean all of this up, tighten this all up, vacuum, get the studio all polished up, and then we can do a final tour. Right, so everything is basically done how I want it. We have a little Instagram studio set up here. Right behind that, we have my Planet Malibu, and then we have some sparkly backdrops if I ever decide to use those. The idea behind this is that this little corner in here, I'm going to be able to keep all of my lights, my tripods and everything kind of in the middle, and then just switch them between the two desks as I film different content. So that was the idea behind that. I'll see how it goes and let you guys know. Let's go over the equipment that I have been using. Like I said before, I started out with this softbox here. This came with a set of 2 and a hair light from Cowboy Studio. I ordered it on Amazon. It was about $200. The thing with softboxes is that they are very hot and they are very bulky. So once you can move on to LED panels and you can do that, I would recommend doing that as soon as possible. The brand I have in here, they are called Savage light bulbs, and basically they're just really good LED studio light bulbs that give off a lot of light. All right guys, let's get into the good stuff. On either side of my ring light, I have these 2 neweer panels. I think there's 960 LED light bulbs per panel. They're just these longer rectangular panels on either side of my ring light. They give off an amazing amount of light and they don't get super hot, so that's why I converted over to the panels like this. Most of my lighting is the Neweer brand, so this is my ring light that sits in the middle of my 2 panels. Basically basically my camera sits in the middle of here, points down, and looks right at me when I'm filming my Planet Malibu. In that door there is where the laundry is. So this stool I can actually just push in at my leisure and have that space be nice and clear. But let's talk about what we got going on here. Again, from Neweer, we just have a smaller light panel here, which I use as my hair light. Basically what that does is just kind of cuts you out of the backdrop, makes you look a little bit more newscast, a little bit more polished, a little bit more cinematic, if you will. Here I have my backdrop light. Basically this just lights up my whole backdrop. This is another one of those Savage bulbs. So when I'm filming Planet Malibu, this is basically what I'm looking at. This is what I see. I have my little hair light above me pointing at the back, and yeah. So if you guys want a little bit of my perspective, that's what I see when I'm filming Planet Malibu. Obviously my camera would be in the middle there. We've definitely all heard of the Rode microphones. Those are definitely the best on the market, I find, but I haven't purchased one yet myself. So I'm using the Video Pro condenser microphone. It's actually on the camera that I'm using right now, so I can't really show you guys what it looks like. Basically, it's just like any other condenser microphone. For anybody who is curious, this is so gross. Look at how dirty my screen is. Anyways, I do use the Mac to edit my videos. I also have a pair of Monster headphones. These are noise canceling, so basically you put them on your ears and you can't hear anything else outside of the headphone. So it's really good for editing. You can really hear a lot of white noise when you're editing your footage, so you can cancel that out if you need to. I have my microphone just on this boom pole here. Basically what that is a rod that just extends out over above you. You can use these for lights, you can use these for microphones, you can use these for reflectors. Basically, they are a boom pole to extend anything up and above your head. So this definitely looks very familiar. This is my Planet Malibu setup, just with a wider lens. So you guys can really see how using different lenses is going to give you different effects. When I'm using a 50mm lens, basically you're only really seeing a little square around me and my background is really, really blurry. Whereas I'm using a wide angle lens like this, it's going to show all of the background. Everything is going to be very in focus. So it's going to look a lot more real. I'll share with you guys a few of the YouTube accounts that I follow that really helped me along my journey in becoming a content creator. A lot of this stuff is really not the easiest to learn. Of course, it's very time consuming, it's very finicky, it's very meticulous. So a few of the people that really inspire me and taught me a lot of what I know, I'm going to list off and you guys can definitely go follow their YouTube pages. Parker Walbeck and Peter McKinnon and Casey Neesett are all people that really like to give off as much information as they can. For any of you who are curious, I do use Final Cut Pro to edit my videos. If you guys are curious to see how I edit my videos and what my process is, I can definitely make a video about that. This is pretty much all for today. I am so pooped from organizing the studio, but I'm glad that I did it. I really honestly don't have a lot of time to do this lately. Trying to have a YouTube channel, trying to still have a full-time job. It's just a lot to balance. So I'm glad that I decided. Basically, that is all I have for my studio tour for you guys today. I did not get too much of a chance to go through my plethora of looks here, but I'm going to get through this one day. This is what I wore the other week, that little fur crop top. Hey boo! So all in all, I hope you guys enjoyed watching today. I hope you enjoyed seeing my setup and how I do things. I tried to answer as many questions as I could in this video, but if you guys do have any more, of course, leave some questions in the bottom comments down below. I'm gonna definitely try and make a video on how I edit my content and how I make that a lot faster. I think you guys would definitely be really interested in that. But thank you so much for tuning in today, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this YouTube channel, give this video a thumbs up. My name is David. I will see you guys all next week. Bye dolls.